Fever Dream by Ray Bradbury. They put him between fresh, clean, laundered sheets, and there was always a newly squeezed glass of thick orange juice on the table under the dim pink lamp. All Charles had to do was call, and Mom or Dad would stick their heads into his room to see how sick he was. The acoustics of the room were fine. You could hear the toilet gargling its porcelain throat all mornings. You could hear rain tap the roof, or sly mice run in the secret walls, or the canary singing in its cage downstairs. If you were very alert, sickness wasn't too bad. He was 13, Charles was. It was mid-September, with the land beginning to burn with autumn. He lay in the bed for 3 days before the terror overcame him. His hand began to change, his right hand. He looked at it, and it was hot and sweating there on the counterpane alone. It fluttered, it moved a bit, then it lay there changing colour. That afternoon the doctor came again, and tapped his thin chest like a little drum. "How are you?" asked the doctor, smiling. "I know. Don't tell me. My cold is fine, doctor, but I feel awful. Ha!" He laughed at his own oft-repeated joke. Charles lay there, and for him that terrible and ancient jest was becoming a reality. The joke fixed itself in his mind. His mind touched and drew away from it in a pale terror. The doctor did not know how cruel he was with his jokes. "Doctor," whispered Charles, lying flat and colourless, "my hand, it doesn't belong to me any more. This morning it changed into something else. I want you to change it back. Doctor, doctor." The doctor showed his teeth and patted his hand. "It looks fine to me, son. You just had a little fever dream." "But it changed, doctor. Oh, doctor," cried Charles pitifully, holding up his pale, wild hand. "It did." The doctor winked. "I'll give you a pink pill for that." He popped a tablet onto Charles's tongue. "Swallow. Will it make my hand change back and become me again?" "Yes, yes." The house was silent when the doctor drove off down the road in his car under the quiet blue September sky. A clock ticked far below in the kitchen world. Charles lay looking at his hand. It did not change back. It was still something else. The wind blew outside. Leaves fell against the cool window. At 4 o'clock his other hand changed. It seemed almost to become a fever. It pulsed and shifted cell by cell. It beat like a warm heart. The fingernails turned blue and then red. It took about an hour for it to change, and when it was finished it looked just like any ordinary hand. But it was not ordinary. It no longer was him anymore. He lay in a fascinated horror and then fell into an exhausted sleep. Mother brought the soup up at 6. He wouldn't touch it. "I haven't any hands," he said, eyes shut. "Your hands are perfectly good," said Mother. "No," he wailed. "My hands are gone. I feel like I have stumps. Oh, Mother, Mother, hold me, I'm scared." She had to feed him herself. "Mother," he said, "get the doctor, please, again. I'm so sick." "The doctor'll be here tonight at 8, she said, and went out. At 7, with night dark and close around the house, Charles was sitting up in bed when he felt the thing happen to first one leg and then the other. "Mother, come quick," he screamed. But when she came, the thing was no longer happening. When she went downstairs, he simply lay without fighting, as his legs beat and beat, grew warm, red hot, and the room filled with the warmth of his feverish change. The glow crept up from his toes to his ankles, and then to his knees. "May I come in?" The doctor smiled in the doorway. "Doctor," cried Charles, "hurry, take off my blankets." The doctor lifted the blankets tolerantly. "There you are. Whole and healthy. Sweating, though. A little fever. I told you not to move around, you bad boy. He pinched the moist pink cheek. Did the pills help? Did your hand change back? No? No? Now it's in my other hand and my legs. Well, well, I'll have to give you 3 more pills, 1 for each limb, eh? Laughed the doctor. Will they help me? Please, please. What have I got? A mild case of scarlet fever complicated by a slight cold. Is it a germ that lives and has more little germs in me? Yes. Are you sure it's scarlet fever? You haven't taken any tests. I guess I know a certain fever when I see one, said the doctor, checking the boy's pulse with cool authority. Charles lay there, not speaking, until the doctor was crisply packing his black kit. Then, in the silent room, the boy's voice made a small, weak pattern, his eyes alight with remembrance. I read a book once about petrified trees, wood turning to stone, about how trees fell and rotted, and minerals got in and built up, and they look just like trees. But they're not, they're stone. He stopped. In the quiet, warm room, his breathing sounded. Well? Asked the doctor. I've been thinking, said Charles after a time. Do germs ever get big? I mean, in biology class, they told us about one-celled animals, amoebas and things, and how millions of years ago they got together until there was a bunch, and they made the first body, and more cells got together and got bigger, and then finally maybe there was a fish, and finally here we are, and all we are is a bunch of cells that decided to get together to help each other out. Isn't that right? Charles wet his feverish lips. What's all this about? The doctor bent over him. I've got to tell you this, doctor. I've got to, he cried. What would happen? Just pretend, please pretend, that just like in the old days, a lot of microbes got together and wanted to make a bunch and reproduced and made more. His white hands were on his chest now, crawling towards his throat. And they decided to take over a person, cried Charles. Take over a person? Yes, become a person. Me, my hands, my feet. What if a disease somehow knew how to kill a person and yet live after him? He screamed. The hands were on his neck. The doctor moved forward, shouting.